Hey guys, welcome back to Community Kitchen. It's on Game Sandwich. Thank you for joining us. I'm John Hansen. That's Kalo, and today we're talking about Dispatch. So last week I got a look at the game, a little hands-off event with a bunch of press media, and yeah, I didn't get to play it or anything, but we got to talk with the devs, got to see some new footage of the game and everything. Um, we're gonna talk about that. Kevin, how you feeling about Dispatch? Do you know about this game or anything?
I know about this game, and it's one that interests me. It's one like, oh, I wonder how that's doing. But now to hear we are coming up, I think it's launching on the 22nd of October.
It's yeah, so getting off just starting off right on that. Um it initially releases on October
Hmm.
22nd, but as you'll find out from this discussion, this game is trying to do a lot of the same things that Telltale did because this is getting an episodic release.
Hmm.
So on October 22nd, we get the first two episodes, and then you have to wait to play the rest of the game. But another thing about the Telltale thing is these guys they're working to fix a lot of Telltale's mistakes. So instead, in the past, you would get a Telltale game. The first or second game would be released right away, and then it would be okay, episodes 3, 4, 5 down the road. You may get the next episode in like 5 months, 6 months. Like it could be a very long wait. This time, it is very much like a series release schedule. So the first two episodes on the 22nd, and then every Wednesday following, two more episodes will be released until they're done. And there are 8 in total, so it'll be 4 total weeks of releases.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, not a terrible thing. I, along with quite a few other people that were at the event, kind of raised our eyebrows at it. We were like, "Oh, that's not we. I don't know about that. Like that's it's an interesting take." So when we were talking to them, Ad Hoc Studio is the development team, and they are actually made up of former Telltale devs. That's why they're going for the Telltale thing again. They're experienced with it, and they specifically said, "Hey, we want to fix the problems we made in the past." Um, when we were talking to them, we're like, "Yeah, we know the nervousness around the episodic release. We know people are going to be a little iffy about it, but they said they really want to go for that water cooler kind of conversation when the episodes release. Very much like you would see in a big television show released today. Think of like Succession, Game of Thrones. When a new episode comes out, everyone is talking about it online.
Hmm.
I don't see that happening here. Like that's gonna be a tough thing because like Dispatch looks fun. It looks great. It looks very interesting. It's something I do want to play. Just don't see it being something that's like just taking over the internet when it happens,
Hmm.
especially when this game releases in October. What are the other games that are releasing in October and November? We've got Pokemon, Kirby Air Ride. I can't even think of other games at the moment. For some reason, only Nintendo. But there are some big games. Call of Duty, of course,
Ghost of Yote.
Battlefield,
Ghost of
Ghost of
Yote.
Yote. Like we've got all these really big games coming out at the same time that this game is just putting out episodes. So it's
Hmm.
gonna be, I don't know. I think it's gonna be kind of tough for it to really dominate the conversation like they say they want to at the time of year that it's trying to release.
Hmm.
But if we're just looking at the quality of the game, I think it looks pretty good. I'll give you a chance to talk here. Are you worried at all about an episodic release?
I don't. The broad answer is I don't know. But then here are the little bullet points. Releasing it week to week. All right, are we talking? Do we know the length of each episode, or is that kind of like still
Uh,
vague to?
so they said that the it should take about an hour each.
Okay.
Um, but they also said because of the gameplay elements that are in it, that they saw people playing it a lot longer than they envisioned.
Hmm.
So it kind of depends, but they expect about an hour.
Okay, so that's digestible to be like, all right, this week the two episodes come out or whatever, and say like, all right, Monday I'll do this episode and Thursday I'll do this one. Knock it out. Have the weekend to kind of play whatever other game, whatever. But the idea of coming back to it hinges on if the story, the characters, and everything else is resonating with people, is the thing that draws people back. And like I've seen the trailers and like I think it's cool, but then getting into this story, I don't know if I'm going to be absolutely hooked. I mean, I know when Pokemon Legends ZA comes out, Gravity, I'm going right towards that. Like that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like for a lot of people, they might be into it for the first couple weeks and hey, like great, but then you're worried about the retention. And so I guess I am worried about it. Again, I'm looking at the cast, like Aaron Paul, Jeffrey Wright, Laura Bailey, great actors and actresses, and like you can control a superhero squad. This all sounds like something like Invincible or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's about the retention, and I don't think it's going to be there either.
Yeah, it's tough to get people to keep coming back to a game like this, I think, these days. Yeah, focusing on the story and all that. Looking at the characters, I do think they're pretty cool. Aaron Paul is the lead of this game. His name is Robert Robertson, and he is a superhero named Mecha Man, but he is also kind of he was described to us as Tony Stark if he wasn't smart and he wasn't rich. So pretty much he's got the mech suit, it breaks down in battle, and he has no way of repairing it himself because it was actually a hand-me-down from his father. So he's like looking for ways to get his mech repaired, and the superhero dispatch network gets a hold of them. They're like, hey, we'll help you repair this if you do this job for us. So what you're doing is you're sitting at a computer and you get like an overview of the city, and like 911 calls will pop up on the screen. You select it and it'll tell you, hey, this is what's happening. Like one example was my kid lost his balloon in a tree, and then it will like give the requirements. It's like get the balloon from a 40-foot height, don't scare the kid. And then you have your list of heroes at the bottom. I'll get into them in a second. And you have to select which ones to send to the job and whether or not their stats like actually work for that situation. Will let you know if, hey, yeah, no, this will probably work. This might not work. There's a bit of randomness in there. So you see their stat page and it's like one of those like hexagon things where it's like spread out. You'll also see like the requirements for the job, and when you send them, this like ball will like bounce in between them, and if it like lands outside of the requirements, it's a fail, but if it lands inside, it's a success. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting addition to the game. The heroes are actually ex-villains.
Oh.
And so they're essentially the Suicide Squad. Like that's what it is. Looking at them, they're like always talking in your ear. They're always like insulting you and making jokes and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. The Suicide Squad are cool, but I've never been like super in love with them. Like I like some of them, like Harley Quinn, but I've never liked them as a group necessarily. And I don't know, like for example, Laura Bailey plays a character named Invisigal, and there are some times in the preview footage that we saw where I was like, you're just obnoxious. Like I love Laura Bailey. I like the way she can kind of overdo it for her character sometimes, and I feel like there was times in the footage where I was like, yeah, no, that's definitely Laura Bailey. I'm just like, there are moments that made me laugh, but there's also moments where I'm just like, there's like this part where she keeps going on about Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump. She's like, yeah, is this something? You're Lieutenant Dan. Ha 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 ha. And then she keeps going back to it. I'm just like, man, I don't, whatever. Uh, yeah, overall, there are some cool characters in there, but there was also some moments where I was just like, I don't know. And that's going to be so important for this game.
Nail on the head right there. It is the combination of, all right, am I invested in these characters? But then, like, let's just say you tick that box. Then are the choices I make here, there, and everywhere that probably do have results that trickle down throughout your time with it, does that make me feel like, do I feel a sense of accomplishment? Do I feel fulfilled from the choice? Do I feel something towards that? That is what's going to give this the longevity it needs. I could also see a world where, all right, like the big releases come out, people play that, and then we get all episodes, and then people come back to this and are like, oh, like there's something here. So like, it's really just, I'm going to give it like 2-3 months and see what happens, and then cast final judgment here on Dispatch.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, you'll get the whole game at that point. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's just whenever there's the episodic thing, it just like kind of sets off red flags for me because we've seen how bad that could be in the past. We've seen how that could be a downfall and how Telltale's management just really wasn't good. But at the time, they were also like trying to push out like 5 different licensed games back to back to back. This is very much Ad Hoc's only, well, not their only thing. They're actually working on The Wolf Among Us too, which was a surprise to me. I when I was looking over stuff for this, I was like, oh, hey, that's cool. And they're actually making a Critical Role game too. I didn't know that. I was like, oh, that's really cool. So they're doing some cool stuff. And like the management stuff with the city screen looks really cool and all that. And there are some special missions where you like actually go in and you look at cameras and you watch the hero, villain, whatever you want to call them, try and like get the job done. It looked really cool, but it was like there was moments in that where like you're supposed to suggest to the hero what to do next. So like the example here was a donut shop was being burgled, and this guy with these like electric cannons on his arms was attacking, and you'd be like, oh, go for him or go for the old guy that got the other cannon arm. And in this example, he told her, hey, go for the burglar. But the hero like completely ignored it and went for the other one. So it's just like, okay, so your writing trumped my decision there. Like there was nothing I could do to make this situation better, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
How we know Telltale games how we know them to work is it happened a lot. Like that's a very Telltale thing, is the illusion of your choice matters. Like they did say there's going to be different endings and all that, but it's also like, yeah, but how different are those endings going to be? Like it's probably just going to end up being, yep, in this ending, Robert got his suit back and became a superhero. In this ending, he never got his suit back, but he kept being a dispatch worker. And it's just like, yeah, that's cool. And like on the outside, the bigger changes will be like, oh, this character actually hated you instead of liked you. And like, yeah, that's cool, but like, I don't know. That's not. When I look at games like Baldur's Gate 3, like there's a lot more interesting stuff with those choices.
Yep.
In a Telltale game coming out in 2025, I just don't see it really nailing the kind of your choices matter conversation that I think they're gonna try and sell.
And that, again, the make or break thing for this game, a game like this, is the choice and the results that follow, since you're not really in the action, because then you can kind of make up for it with action and gameplay and so on and so forth. But yeah, like, again, this is going to be a game where I'm going to watch it closely, where it's like, oh, what do people really think about this whenever it's out in the wild? And yeah, I can't wait to see what happens in this world for Dispatch.
Yeah, no, there are definitely parts of it that I think are interesting, that look fun. I do want to play this game. But but there are some smaller things on the side where I'm like, don't know about that. But we're gonna end our discussion there. I hope this gave you some good insight on Dispatch when it comes out in October. Yeah, I hope you're looking forward to it. And yeah, Kevin, I would ask you to put a link to my preview article down in the description. So if you want to, you can just go down there and read my written thoughts on the preview. You can also check out gamesandwich.com for other articles from us. We also stream on Twitch and here on YouTube. And like, you don't even have to go anywhere. Just go ahead and subscribe to us.
Right here.
Yeah, we're right here, right now. But yeah, we're gonna end the discussion there. We'll let you go and have a good day. Bye.
If you enjoyed today's video and want more content just like this, consider subscribing to Game Sandwich for all your news, rumors, and reviews. And we'll see you guys next time.